The easiest way to learn a Webster is to have a tiny block or a rock or something like that to jump off of. It's really helpful to have a front flip before you learn a Webster because the Webster is a lot more technical and much harder than a normal front flip. So before you do the Webster, you want to know which side you do it on. Personally, I do it with my left leg forwards. So before you do it, make sure you stretch this split on this side before you try the Webster. So the reason you stretch your splits is because if you're able to do them, then you can get your leg way up here and you only have to do half a flip till that leg reaches the ground, because you can land split-footed on a Webster if you want. So when you're ready to do the flip, what you're going to do is start in front of your obstacle like this, jump off the same foot that's going to be on the block, and then have both one at a time like this. So you want to practice that a few times. Also, during the Webster, there's many things that you can do with your arms. Some people like to reach them up like this. Some people like to do it Russian style and throw them backwards. And some people, I see a lot of trickers try this, but they do it split like that. I personally will show you with the arms backwards, and I'm going to tell you why. The reason I throw my arms backwards is because I'm turning my forwards momentum into height by shooting them like this. So it's creating a blocking motion because you can't block with your body since you're jumping off of one leg. So instead of blocking with your body like you would for a front flip, you're blocking with your arms, and since they stop just here, they're actually getting you extra height and also extra flip because they're twisting you in that motion. So you want to practice that a few times while swinging your arms backwards like this. You want to make sure that you kick your leg backwards as hard as you can while swinging your arms, all at the same time. If you throw them all at the same time, then you'll have that much more power because they're not separated. They're all together, throwing your body and flipping it at the same time. So you kick your back leg as hard as you can over and throw your arms like this. You also want to make sure that when you put your front leg on the obstacle, that it's not fully straight. You want it slightly bent like this so you can get height by straightening it and jumping off of it. So when I do a Webster, I do something that I call a dip. So I'm going to bring my chest down and then bring it back up as I'm jumping. Look at my chest when I practice it. So then when you're at that point, then you're ready to do the flip. So you're going to kick that back leg as hard as possible, and it's going to be the first limb to touch the ground. So your back leg is going to come over, and you're going to land the flip split-footed like this. So it's going to feel a lot like a front flip, but instead of landing your feet together like this, you're going to land them one at a time, split-footed. It's going to take a lot of practice to try and land on one foot at a time, but the more you practice it, the easier it'll become. There's also a little trick that you're going to see a lot of parkour guys doing. What they do is after you leave the ground, they actually grab the front leg, and that simulates a tuck. Since you can't tuck the flip like you would for a normal front flip, you actually grab just the front leg with the arm up from the same side, and then it helps you kind of tuck by bringing that leg close in. I'll show you guys an example of that too.